sport, and I don't. I understand the concerns of wanting certain players not to play because they're not getting paid by the WBC. They're being paid by their teams. I get it, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's a chance to win for your country. I mean, not too many people will really get those chances. Even though USA didn't have all of their best pitchers out there, we probably would have had a better chance. But I mean, either way, Otani is Otani. He's going to do what he does, and you saw what he did against his teammate and Mike Trout. He struck him out. So I think that was a huge thing. But I just
talk about that at bat real quick.
Hey, go ahead, talk about it.
Light work, light work.
I mean, yeah, that's what he made it look like because he threw 100 by him right down the middle. But man, that was the most anticipated at bat of the whole WBC, and the fact that it came down to him needing to get on, like, man, that was great. I haven't seen that emotion from Otani, and this is why we need playoff baseball.
Yes,
for the Angels.
Yes, I think all three of us agree that I want to see Otani in the playoffs. Angels, do something, please.
Or trade my man.
We'll take him. What you want?
Not over there.
What you want? Hey, Carl, be quiet. What you want? What you want?
Situation go to y'all.
Listen. The owner doesn't like to spend money. You know that, Dave. He comes from Tampa, where he picks and chooses. Oh, that guy makes $50K, but he gets on base. So he's not gonna go out and pay that money.
Teddy, don't remind me, all right? Just let me dream real quick, all right?
I got to tell all the Red Sox fan that every time a big name comes out these past couple years, yo, come over here.
You're fired in a second.
Oh man,
by the time you get off. But nah, man. I mean, that was definitely a classic at bat, man. And he made it look silly. He made him look silly. But that was the WBC. It was great. Teddy, you came up with this topic. This is something that you want to discuss, so I want to hear more from you.
Yeah. So Jeff McNeil was one of the guys that either turned down the offer to go play for USA. No, not Jeff McNeil. It was his teammate. What was his name? I drew a blank. He's on the Mets. He came out and said, he's like, oh, it was right after Diaz, his teammate, got hurt. He was complaining that they shouldn't be out there because they get paid by the team. They get paid by the team and such. Like, you got to play meaningful games so that you can be out there for the owner and all this. And the next day, he's doing something as simple as sliding into second base, and he comes up limping.
I can't remember who you're talking about, too, but I did read about this.
Yeah. I drew a blank from his name, but, I mean, that's just I mean, like, playing for your country is probably one of for those guys that started their dream in their country and then came here, like, that is probably one of the best things that they'll ever do in their professional career. Because not all of them are on playoff teams. Not all of them have a chance to win a ring. Not all of them are the top players in their leagues to where they can win MVP, Gold Gloves, all these other accolades. You know, winning a WBC championship would mean the absolute world. You know, like, look at there was 16 million people watching it in Japan. 97% of their cable was Japan WBC. While they were playing. Like, I mean, it's the nation. I get the chance this year to play in World Baseball Classic here in Boston. And I'm amped. You know, I get to play for PRs under the lights. We're playing DR the first game, Friday night, under the lights, in a Dominican town.
Let's go, Teddy.
I can't wait. Yeah.
Hey, to answer your question, Teddy, it was Mark Canhoff.
Okay.
All right, so my opinion on this, I can see why people I was about to say that. I can see why people had a disagreement with it just because of the timing of it. Because the ending was like 2 weeks ago, and like literally opening day is tomorrow. So like how close the event is from opening day, I can see why people complain. But injuries happen, it's part of the game. Some people it's not baseball, but look at Darren McFadden, dropped his phone, broke his elbow. Like injuries happen no matter whenever, wherever. So I mean, to complain about injuries in the WBC, I mean, it is what it is. Because like you said, we also had injuries in spring training. Spring training is necessary. It's like preseason for football and basketball. It's necessary to get ready for the regular season. So, but that's the only thing I can agree with, the fact that it's so close to opening day. Even if you get hurt, even if it's like something minor for like a month, you're going to miss like the first 2 weeks of opening the season because how close it is. Like you said, the Olympics, if I get hurt in the Olympics, it's in like July, August. If I get hurt, tweak my knee like a 1-2 month, I can get rehab and come back for training camp and be ready for training camp. The turnaround is too close. So that's my only issue with that. Well, that's the only thing I can see where people have an issue with it.
Yeah, that's pretty much the same thing for me. It would be best if it was later in the year. It would be best. But I think more so they do that because of TV time. Because if you put it later in the year, look at everything else that's on later in the year. You got football that's on.
Like where would you guys want them to do it? You know, like they played the two brackets in Miami and
I was Arizona.
In Arizona, yeah. I mean, that would work, but who's gonna go out to? I mean, people will go to watch the WBC, but I mean, after 162 game season, you want these guys, and maybe playoffs. You want these guys to go out and play in December.
No, I get it. It's hard to get everything perfect. Nothing is perfect, but that's I'm just saying, from somebody who's complaining, I can see that as a complaint. But it'd be hard because baseball season is so long. It starts March, April, and it goes all the way into like November.
Yep.
So it's hard to get time in between the season to do a tournament like the WBC and still give yourself time for an off season, or if you sustain an injury to rehab it. It's hard.
Yeah.
That would be the only solution, but I don't see them doing that. I don't see them suspending the season for the WBC. I don't see them doing that at all.
Way too much money being made in the MLB to do that.
That's not happening. That's like the NBA suspending the NBA season and going and letting them play the Olympics. They're like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
We lose a lot of money. No, it's not gonna happen. But that's what it is. I mean, WBC injuries, spring training injuries, NFL offseason injuries, NFL season injuries, NBA offseason. No matter what sport it is, there's gonna be an injury no matter what.
Bruh.
Pretty much got to deal with it. Last but not least,